All right. I don't know if this is just a me thing or if this is a broader potential Mandela effect or something. If I say the quote, "Oh, the weather outside is weather," do any of you know what movie that's from? Like off the top?
Yeah, it's Saving Sarah. No, Saving Sarah. It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Yes, it is.
right?
Did you all know
Yeah,
that?
I haven't watched the
Didn't
movie yet.
it's
didn't they
Paul
do
Rudd,
that on
right?
Scrubs too?
Is it Paul
Oh
Rudd's?
no, the weather outside was far from frightful. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Paul Rudd's
Paul Rudd's
character.
character,
It is
yeah.
Paul Rudd's character
He's
that
so good
says
in
it.
that movie.
So it was on TV the other night, and like we just had it on. First of all, that movie, it kind of a fucking
I quote
banger.
that shit.
Like
I say that all the time. That's an incredible movie.
it has like some good jokes in it. I mean, there's also some stuff that has not aged well, but there's some good stuff in there.
Table for One.
Yeah, all the stuff when he's checking into the restaurant is really good with fucking what's his face, Jonah Hill. But I don't know, for some reason I was like attributing that quote in my head to Elf. So when Paul Rudd said it, I was like, wait, that's from this movie?
I can see that though, because I don't know. It kind of seems like
it just sat like for some reason it was like I feel like I say that quote all the time, but my head was putting it with Elf. So I don't know.
Do you know Jason Segel is on tour doing the vampire musical?
I saw a picture.
Is he related to Steven Seagal?
Oh yeah, what is his name? Seagal.
He is. They're both actors.
Wait, is he? I didn't know that that's like a real thing that he finished.
I don't know if he finished it, but he's definitely doing it all. He's definitely going. I don't know how much of it he's doing, but he's definitely goes with the puppet on venues and fucking does it.
Did he write the movie? Did I read something that the movie's plot is like loosely based on like a bad breakup of his own?
It's based on a bad breakup of his own. I'm only aware of that because I believe you mentioned it on Conan O'Brien's podcast.
Oh, that's probably where I heard it. Okay.
Conan O'Brien's podcast is like the Howard Stern podcast these days. He gets some good information.
I love Conan's podcast. It's like very regularly funny, like in just good guests for the most part.
Yeah. He's got a flow. He's figured it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Plus, like I think his co-hosts or whatever, I don't know if he actually calls them his co-hosts, but like Matt and Matt, right? I know it's Sona, but I for some reason was like forgetting if it was Matt or someone else. They're good too, and I feel like they add the right amount of flavor to the guest conversations. I think they like know when to butt in. So there are some like really good episodes, like his more recent episode with Harrison Ford. It's probably from like 6 months ago or something. Have you listened to that one, Mike? It's really good.
I did.
Harrison Ford's hysterical though. Like
Harrison Ford is incredible.
He's so good. Yeah, like I like the real Harrison Ford that like outside of film.
Well, this is another reason why, and this is just tangentially also related because we're talking about Jason Segel, but if you don't watch Shrinking on Apple TV, it's really funny. It's really good.
We watched the first 3 episodes. Yeah,
Harrison Ford is amazing on that show. Like to the point where it's like, fuck, I need Harrison Ford in more things like this before he's not around. Because I don't know. I feel like I watched every fucking award show the last 2 weeks that was on. He received an award at one of them for like a Lifetime Achievement Award or something. He's old. I don't know how old he actually is, but
he's old. He's like 77, I think, 76. Yeah. Oh no, you can tell now. He's done. It's that show's very Ted Lasso-esque in a very good way though, because it's like Bill Lawrence anyway. So it's like
and I think it's also written by
Steven Seagal.
No, it's written by why can't I think of Brett Goldstein? I think he's one of the writers in the show too.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
That's
well, really, wait, I've brought this. I know I've said this before, but like when David Blaine was in fucking Harrison Ford's house,
that was a great.
He does a magic trick for Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford just sits there after he does it. He's amazing. He's like,
"Get the fuck out of my house!"
It's the best. It is like the best delivery. It's so good.
He really has such a good comedic bone. Like it's wild how, like, I don't know. Is it like he's dry? Is that like how to describe his like temperament?
Yes, yeah, I'd say that. Yeah. He hasn't done much comedy though. I don't feel like which is kind of weird. I feel like he should have done more.
Yeah, I mean, when they did like the montage of films when they were giving him that award, I was like, I haven't seen like any of these fucking movies. Right. I don't know any of these fucking things. Like aside from obviously Star Wars and Indiana Jones, like what's like, and I guess Blade Runner. What's like not one of those movies that's like his top movie or top
The Witness is like the one I think The Witness is the one he got
Air Force One
nominated for, and he got nominated for Academy Award for. It's about like a murder that happens in like what are those people in Pennsylvania? Amish country. Like he goes like undercover in like an Amish country thing. It's supposed to be a really good movie. I've never seen it.
Oh,
The Fugitive.
Have you all seen any of these movies or no?
Yeah, I've seen Fugitive. Fugitive is amazing.
Anchorman 2.
Wait, he was in Anchorman 2.
I didn't even know that. Never saw it.
I mean, you should at least look up the clip of like the big fight scene in that movie because that's. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, but
they have another fight like in the first one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where Harrison Ford shows up, right? Doesn't he show up in that?
Yes.
Yeah. They have so many ridiculous.
He's in more. He's in more than that. He's the old. Am I thinking of the same movie? Isn't he the old anchor that?
Well.
Isn't he like in the beginning of the movie too?
He might be. I forget. I feel like they do. They do, like when he shows up in the fight, they refer to him as if they knew who he was.
Yeah,
like at a more personal level.
It may be like cut scenes or like part of like one of those other movies. Yeah.
I rewatched.
That's also why I was trying to remember if it was Anchorman 2 or a different movie.
It was definitely Anchorman 2 because I remember what his character does in that fight.
I rewatched Anchorman 1 recently one night, and then I did put Anchorman 2 on. But I fell asleep. It was late. I fell asleep watching it, so I don't remember how far I even got. But like, Anchorman is another. There are definitely things in it that don't age well, but it's another one of those things where it just made me think they don't make movies like this anymore. They just don't make.
They don't make comedies really.
Yeah, they don't make movies like that
before.
Yeah,
because comedies are. I don't know. You would have to spend money on the actor, right? If you want to like make it something that'll hit theaters. It's like, I'm going to spend money on this. We want to make this a movie for theaters. You're going to spend money on a big name actor. Otherwise, you're just going to make something cheap. And at that point, you're going to put it on a streaming service.
Yeah.
If that, that's my assumption.
I forgot 2 Harrison Ford movies, and now I'm embarrassed because they're too fucking amazing. Air Force One, which I don't know if you get, it's an old 90s actor.
We brought it up. I didn't hear it. You must have.
Are we cutting?
And the other one's The Fugitive. And the other one's The Fugitive.
Clear and Present Danger is fucking amazing, too. He was like the original Jack Ryan.
I was trying to remember. I knew there was a previous Jack Ryan film that he was in, but I don't have those names.
Well, I think the original was Alec Baldwin, because The Hunt for Red October, I think, was... And then they replaced him with Harrison Ford in Clear and Present Danger.
And then wasn't Ben Affleck one in...
Yeah, then they just fucking changed it every other movie.
I forget what that one was called. It doesn't matter.
Are those movies all tied together? Like it's the same character?
It's based on books. It's the same character, yeah.
This is all news to me. Anyways, welcome, everyone.
Is Jack Ryan Tom Clancy?
Yeah, I think so.
Someone explain the difference between Jack Ryan and Jack Reacher to me.
They're different.
Jack Reacher's completely different.
I thought all Tom Clancy stuff had to be Tom Clancy's whatever. Isn't everything that fucking is a Tom Clancy thing always have his name in it?
I think so, pretty much.
Video game wise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure video games, they have to throw his name on there, which is such a strange thing now that I think about it. What other book series goes straight from book to video game? Or am I skipping a step?
Yeah, Jack Ryan was Tom Clancy.
I don't know who they're trying to... Is it like a thing where they think they're pulling like a book audience into the game? Because every video game that is based... Which, again, I've never read a Tom Clancy book. I don't actually know if any of the games are even really based on anything he's written. But like... Especially something like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Rainbow Six Vegas. Vegas.
These are just shooting games. Is that based on something? At least like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell is like a story of some sort.
I think it's just using the property for games.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about Tom Clancy too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday, is today Saturday? This Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. How are you doing today, Mike?
I'm hungry.
Oh, you didn't eat?
Not really.
Oh boy, you're gonna have a a long hour. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing?
Good. Did you guys get the fucking skins yet? You guys been playing some Fortnite?
I haven't played any Fortnite since the last time we played, which you weren't
Yeah,
here for because you were not on last week.
Shit, yeah.
I did log in and get the Olivia Rodrigo bundle.
I got. Oh wait, there was a bundle. What else did it come with? I didn't see it. I just bought the fucking new song.
Dom literally texted the group.
I know, and I didn't see anything. I was like, did I miss
good for
something?
you, and don't I want him back. What's the song from the new
damn
album?
it. Yeah, okay. So, do you think it will credit me and just let me get fucking that
It'll
song
probably
for free, or-
discount it. I mean, I feel like most of the stuff in the
It'll
shop
probably
does.
credit the bundle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 900 instead of 1,000. I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't saving a ton, but
Yeah.
Just let me know when the Noah Khan bundle shows up. Then I'll fucking show up. Drop a quick 1,000 V-Bucks.
U2's in there.
No.
Hey, listen. Yeah, think about that.
What U2 song? I guess.
Brendan was like, no one knows who U2 is, and U2 is in
and-
fucking Fortnite, baby.
With
I
or
think it's
without
Beautiful
you.
Day. I think Beautiful
And
Day.
Beautiful Day, maybe. Yeah.
When did I say no one? I never.
And there's a bundle.
We had a huge conversation about U2 a while back.
Yeah, I'll say no one fucking cares about U2. Like, they put a U2 album on my
They're in
phone.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I know they're everywhere. They're old people. Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons is like
Ooh,
millennial.
no.
Yes,
Ooh,
they
now you're
are.
getting it.
No,
You're going for Todd's throat, though.
that's what it is.
Imagine Dragons.
I think I don't want to go far deep down this fucking hole, but I think that Creed was good for their time. I wasn't a huge Nickelback fan, but I respect it, and people all
This
hated
has
on
nothing
these
to do with what we were talking about.
Well, because
Let me hear your mouth.
it comes back to Imagine Dragons gets the same hate because they're everywhere like those bands were, and like everyone now is like, I actually like Creed, I actually like Nickelback, and it's all come.
I
full
don't think
circle with all
everyone
those
now
bands.
is like, I actually like Creed and I actually
No,
like
they're like,
Nickelback.
but they're like.
There is that
There's a
discourse
resurgence
on the internet.
It's a huge resurgence right now, and it's like people are like, yeah, but I mean, I get it though, because like when it's kind of like Taylor Swift, everyone gets shoved in your face so much. People are like, get this shit away from me. I don't want to fucking.
No,
hear
I
it.
think
get
it's a
it.
very different conversation when it comes to Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons is everywhere, and nobody fucking wants them everywhere. But not only that, I think it's also a matter of
Some of their songs are good. Like,
yeah, that's
they're-
fine. But
like,
I think the other more poignant part of the Imagine Dragons conversation is that there's not a lot of mainstream rock music anymore, and they are labeled as like the rock band. And I think people who are like they're not
also
rock.
Mormons, and half of their music is about Mormons. So, like I just think about
Yeah,
the South
but like
Park episode
it's
every
like
fucking
it's like
time.
dumb shit where like I don't know the Grammys or whatever. It's like best rock album of the year. Imagine Dragons is like cool. It's not rock music, but like again,
no,
there's
the
just not
Grammys,
a
it sucks,
platform
though.
for
I've
rock
never
music.
taken the Grammys.
But it's not a Grammys thing. It's just in general. There's like not rock
Yeah.
music people labeled as rock music. Blah blah blah. Anyways, Imagine Dragons is whatever. I don't give a fuck about Imagine Dragons.
What are you talking about? There was a new Rolling Stones album this year.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
I
like
didn't know that.
the people don't fucking talk about rock music the way.
No, I agree.
that-
I
like that,
agree
like
with you.
that's I think where a lot of that discourse comes from is because the
I was
music
also
industry
proving-
labels them
I
as
was
a
also
rock,
proving your point that there's a new Rolling Stones album
and nobody
this year.
cares. Nobody's talking about it.
Well, they're fucking 100 years old. That's
Which
the
is
rock
wild.
music that's coming out right now.
Yeah.
The fact that Keith Richards is fucking has drank
I know.
more than fucking us combined 12 times over and is fucking still making music is wild to me.
Like
So-
like I don't listen to like indie rock or whatever. So like I'm sure there are plenty of like indie rock, punk, whatever like is the current subgenre of that. Like I don't know what you classify those bands under like subcategories, but those are all probably like I don't know what's the band Turnstile? Is that a rock band?
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, exactly. I just threw out a name that I've heard in passing, but I don't even know their music. I think they might have did the song in that one episode of I Think You Should Leave, the one where he's at the recital. I think that song is a Turnstile song. That's a real song. Whatever. You know what episode I'm talking about?
There's no rules.
Yes. Yeah. With the old guy like breaking shit in the classroom. Yeah. That's
Biff Whiff.
That's a I don't know if it's a real song.
The guy. It's Biff Whiff.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this. That's actually the actor's name.
Anyways, also rounding us out tonight, of course, is the Disney daddy, Dominic Ford.
I'm here.
He's here. Great. We're here. Before we roll into tonight's episode, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode is sponsored by us and Penny Arcade, because if you are listening to the show and you maybe are interested in going to PAX East this upcoming March, but unsure if you can swing the ticket, or maybe you haven't bought a ticket yet, well, do we have some good news for you potentially? We were given some 4-day badges to PAX East 2024 to give away to our listenership. So if you are listening to the show and you want to be added into the pool of entrants to potentially win, let me pull up the actual information so I don't give you wrong information on this. Probably should have had that pulled up. Would have been the smart thing to do. But we are giving away a few 4-day badges provided by Penny Arcade, so thank you to them for doing that. But in order to enter to win, you can head over to our Twitter at PassController. The pinned tweet is the tweet. You want to retweet that, follow us on there if you are not following, and then like the post. And that'll give you an entry into the chance to win. If you want an additional entry, you can go to Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to the show. There's an option to leave us a 5-star review. If you leave us a 5-star review, screenshot it and reply to that tweet so I can mark it, and that will give you a second bonus entry into the thing. We will be running the giveaway until February 7th, which is a Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. After that, I will pull the names, I will send them to Penny Arcade, and they will reach out to you. I'll reach out to you to get your name, email address, and whatever other information they need, and I'll give that all to them, and they will reach out to you with confirmation and stuff to pick up your badges. I believe they're going to be pick up at will call, not mailed. I'm not sure if there's going to be a window to have it mailed to you. So, but great opportunity. I mean, a 4-day badge goes for what? It's not cheap, right, Mike?
Yeah, it definitely isn't.
Let me take a peek.
Something 200
250. So the 4-day badge will give you all 4 days of PAX East, access to all the exhibitors on the show floor, all the panels going on. There will be, there's always plenty of things going on around inside the convention center that are not on the show floor and not in the panel rooms. But that'll give you access to all 4 days. The badges are non-transferable, so if you win, it is tied to your name. You can't give it to someone else. You can't, have someone else pick it up and use it. It has to go to whoever wins the thing. So there is that. If you are interested in going, it's going to be March 21st to March 24th of this year. So hope you are lucky, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review and screenshot and reply to the tweet to get a bonus entry into the contest. So it's exciting stuff. Thank you so much to Penny Arcade for giving us some badges to give away to all you lovely listeners out there. If you also, we also have it up on Instagram, so if you want to triple down on your entries, you can also do the same stuff on Instagram, but I think plenty of ways to win. So good luck out there. Before we get into some of the other things, Todd's PTC Movie Club pick for January is The Holdovers. So we will talk about that next week. If you have not watched that film yet, you get another week to watch that before we chat about it. Where is it streaming? I forget. Peacock?
Peacock, yeah. And you guys watch it yet?
I have not.
No.
I will be watching it maybe tomorrow, actually.
It features Paul Giamatti of Big Fat Liar fame, of course.
Whoa. Listen, I think that Cillian Murphy deserves the Oscar because I thought fucking Oppenheimer was amazing. But I really want Paul Giamatti to win because he always said he would say thank you to Howard Stern because he was pig vomit in the Howard Stern movie. And that's was his big break because he was always the second class guy in all the movies and everything. So if he gets up there and wins and says a thank you to Howard Stern, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
I really hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty sure that Oppenheimer is going to continue to sweep.
100%. No, he's amazing in that movie. And he deserves it. That movie's fucking incredible.
So yeah, there's that. So watch The Holdovers. We'll chat about it next week on the show. Mike, I believe, is the next pick for February. So Mike will have his movie pick ready for next week as well. So we'll reveal that next week.
Didn't he already pick? Didn't he say Born Identity 2?
No, he said
that one's the Born.
Jack Reacher.
Yes,
Born Identity, Born Supremacy, then Born.
Ultimatum.
There it is.
Don't
And
forget
then
Born Legacy.
Legacy. I choose to forget Born Legacy.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Listen, Jeremy Renner was good in that role. I mean, I think they shouldn't have scrapped that. I don't know.
I don't know
And
what's
then there
going
was
on.
the newest one that was just called
Jason Bourne.
Born. Was it just called Jason Bourne? Okay.
I think it was called Jason Bourne. I could be wrong.
It's called Jason Bourne again.
There you
That'll
go.
be the
We got
sequel.
We got the sequel.
See,
We got
there
number
you go.
5 or
There you
6
go.
or whatever.
So yeah, watch the holdovers. Go over to our social media and enter the PAX East media badge, or not media badge. Sorry, PAX East 4-day badge contest, and I will talk about Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth shortly, but also a little housekeeping. I put up our most recent cocktail video over on our YouTube channel as well as on our website if you want the recipe. It is an Infinite Wealth inspired cocktail. Some people out there have already made it and sent it our way, which is great. So we love when you make the drinks and post them online and send them our way. So hopefully you check that out and enjoy that cocktail while you're playing Infinite Wealth this weekend, or just because you want to drink. Why not, right? And as always, I put a non-alcoholic version on the website as well. So if you don't drink but want to make some fun drink for yourself, well, there you go. Anyways, before we roll into that, Mike, have you been playing anything other than the regular stuff?
No.
Have you been watching anything, reading anything, doing anything?
No.
Stop this. Didn't you go to the movies like 2 days ago?
Did I?
I don't know. I'm just saying words at this point.
No, I think Beekeeper was the last thing I saw in
Oh,
theaters.
yeah, we don't need
So
to-
jealous.
we don't
Didn't we
need
get
to-
a
Dying to see
free?
that.
Didn't we get a free movie ticket for something? Did you go see it?
Let me double check. If
Like-
we got one, then I didn't use it.
Did you like Beekeeper? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
You missed it last
It's a
week, Todd.
Jason
We had a
Statham
whole
You listen to the
Beekeeper.
Yeah, I just want to know
Podcast.
if you liked it. I don't need to talk about it. I just need to know if you liked it.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It's a
Dude, it's got like fucking amazing reviews. I like stupid action movies though. So.
who was giving these
Dude,
reviews?
it's like 79 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean,
it's
again, I can't stress enough. It is a Jason Statham film.
It's
If you want to
David
see
Ayer
Jason,
though. David Ayer is kind of hit or miss. He's kind of fucking. all over the
yeah. I mean, besides Suicide Squad, what did he do? Didn't he have
place.
like a
End
good
of
movie?
Watch, he did Fury, which was great.
Okay.
End of Watch, which was great. Did a couple
Which
other
one was
movies.
End of Watch?
He
Was
wrote,
that
what's his
Jake
name?
Gyllenhaal
Yes.
and
And,
which?
Ant-Man guy. I forget. His
Okay.
name.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
And he also did. He also wrote Training Day. Which is,
Okay.
that was like his big break.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not to go over it again, but it is a standard Jason Statham movie where he fights people. So that's all you need
just
to know.
kidding. I like dumb action movies. I don't care. Like
Yeah, it was dumb action, and like, you know, the bad guys were bad, and the
Yeah.
good guy was Jason Statham.
of course.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
to answer Brendan's question, no, I didn't go to the movies the other day.
Okay. All right.
All of my shows are done. I got nothing going on.
So walk me through this. You come home on a Friday. It's the weekend. Are you just booting up Overwatch? Is that what's happening?
If Total Mayhem's in there, I'll play that for a bit, and then I'll just put my TV on Comedy Central or Cartoon Network when I'm done, and then I go to sleep.
I would say, well, what did you do today? But I know you did all day today,
Yeah.
so never mind. All right, I guess that's
Yeah.
there we go. That's a day in the life of Mike. That's the new segment, Day in the Life of Mike. We'll check back in next time. I know that both Todd and Dom have been playing Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Is that what it's called? Lost Crown?
Lost Crown. Lost. Yeah, sure.
I think it's called Lost Crown. Where are you both?
It's
in
either
that?
Lost Crown or Lost Prince. So.
Where are you both in that? How are you feeling on that? What are you both playing on? Todd's playing on Xbox. You're playing on Switch.
I am playing it on Switch.
It's called The Lost Crown.
I think that's a good game to play on Switch.
I actually looked it up on Metacritic before I picked what console I was going to buy it for, and Switch actually was reviewing higher than the other consoles, which I feel like doesn't generally happen. So
Yeah.
I like playing Metroidvanias on Switch, so I feel like.
Yeah.
Wait, you bought it on your Switch too?
Oh no,
No.
I bought it on Xbox.
Oh.
But I said it's probably a really good game to play.
I was
on
gonna
Switch.
say
I just don't know.
Todd is like, oh, I'm anti-Switch. I hate the Switch. Oh, I can't play games on this. Oh, why?
I treat Switch the same way I treat my PlayStation, exclusives only. That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Well, how you both feeling about Prince of Persia? Where are we at with this game?
I mean, Dom's a little further than I am. I didn't get to play much of it, but I love it. I think like the control's good, and that's half the battle with those kind of games. And you need this game to be tight controls with like some of the maneuvering you need to do in this game. So yeah, so far combat seems fun too. I'm only like a boss deep, a boss and a half. So I mean, Dom
Oh,
can
I
probably
feel like
speak
I
on it a
see
lot.
you fucking turn it on every time I turn on Xbox. I thought you were
Yeah,
playing
then
a
I
shit
fall
ton of this.
asleep. Well, I mean, I'm like probably like 3 hours, 4 hours into it, so I haven't played a ton. I've barely played Xbox in the past. Like, I barely played anything in the past week, but yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Dom? Any updates? I know we talked about it briefly last week, but I don't know if you got any deeper
I mean,
thoughts on
I'm
it.
farther than whatever I was last week. I was hoping that I could beat it before tonight so that I could give like a more in-depth review, but I mean, I do love it. I mean, it's obviously the first game of 2024 that I will have played. I've beaten a couple games up to now, but I could see this being a game of the year contender by the end of the year, top
Wow.
5 maybe.
So
It's
feel like
like
it's
you're
slept
saying
on,
this is a
too.
must play off the bat. Like this is a must play.
I would say this is a must play. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like Todd said, tight controls, like decently filled story for like a Metroidvania.
Yeah, I wasn't
Like, there's
expecting
like
to. I wasn't going to pay attention to the story, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it where I was at today. I was like, oh, okay, the story's actually getting pretty good.
yeah, there's a lot of story. Like there's a lot of like background story, like a lot of like items that you can pick up and like learn background information. There's like scrolls that you can find and like kind of learn more about like what's going on in the area that you're. I don't like want to talk too much about the story, but like the area that you're in itself is like a story. So
Yeah.
like
It's funny too.
you learn
'Cause
more about like the area, like
Okay.
through like scrolls and stuff.
I just started replaying Hollow Knight, and then this game came out, and I'm like, oh fuck, all right, so I got to play this game now. But like, it's like doing the same thing that Hollow Knight does. It's like very good in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
oh, go ahead.
there's a lot of like there's like a lot of like mythological elements to it, and I think that's just keeps like keeping me invested too.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
you'll run down a hallway and like there'll be like some mythological beast like at the end of the corridor, and you're like, oh shit! Like now I'm trapped in this room, and I don't know. It's fun so far. Like good use of power ups. Like you never feel like you're too overpowered, but like you feel like you have everything you need to get through every boss fight. And
I've seen some like hate because people are like, oh, cool, $50 for a game that looks like it's like 20 years old. I'm like, whoa, what are you like? Oh man, but if it's so
yeah,
good,
those
it's
are the
like
same people that
don't-
complain about fucking everything. Looking like, get out of here.
Yeah, they're equating like how good a game is just based off. I think it looks great too. That's the thing that's like wild to me. I think it looks like it's like a really great looking game with tight
Yeah.
control. It's like everything you want in this type of game. And,
Yeah.
I've had no problems with. I don't really have very many complaints about it yet.
Interesting. Yeah. It's on my
I mean-
radar. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you would definitely like it.
I have Joy-Con problems, but I think that's just because I need new Joy-Cons. So
Gotcha. Well, I would potentially maybe not buy those. We'll see.
I have another set in my house somewhere. I just need to
okay.
find it.
The looming rumor of a September Switch 2. So,
Depressing.
what that means for things, who knows? But yeah.
I also beat Undertale this year.
Oh shit! Did you start it this year, or did you just pick it up from somewhere?
I did. I beat it after RPG.
What are your thoughts on that? Because that's like amazing.
I don't know.
No, okay.
I didn't. I mean,
What, Dom?
there's too much. I don't. At this point, there's just too much hype about it. I didn't see it.
Wow, Mike, I need you to play Undertale to
Listen,
balance
I'm
the
with
scales
Dom,
here.
man. But I will say this: the music's incredible.
Yeah, the music is great. I mean, I enjoyed my time playing it. I just I don't see it as like an all-time game. Like,
Damn, Toby Fox, Boston,
we're in the minority on that
Massachusetts native, and you're over here gonna fucking not.
I thought he's from New Hampshire.
I mean that I don't know. So maybe he's New England native. I thought he was Massachusetts. But
I mean, regardless.
yeah, you gotta go out there.
I mean,
for the home team.
the music is fantastic.
Yeah, music's fantastic. I mean, listen, I can understand Undertale not being everyone's cup of tea, but that game is that game does some fucking real good stuff. It has some very good storytelling, and I don't know, it has very funny writing, I think, especially for that type of game. It's just like, I don't know. I enjoyed that game a lot. That's a special game for me. So Mike, I need you to play Undertale to balance the scales here. We can't have a 2-1-0 Undertale opinion on the podcast. I need you to come to bat. Make it a 3-1 if you want, Mike.
So it's a 2-1-0.
Balance the scales.
So to balance the scales, so you're saying you want to make it possible for it to be a 2-2 even split, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, balance the scales.
Yeah.
Is that really okay?
I mean, isn't balancing the scales making it even? Wouldn't that make it a 2-2 split?
I don't know why you'd want that.
I mean, I would rather that over a 2-1-0. I mean, I would prefer a 3-1 over 2-1-0, to be honest. But
no one needs to count the zero. The zero, no one ever counts the zero. Why would you ever put the zero there?
Because there's 4 of us, so it's like a 2-1-0. You know.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I need you to play Undertale, Mike, to balance the scales out. This is wild. These are. I mean, Dom gave Sea of Stars Game of the Year last year, so I gotta take my punches where I can take them. I'll eat this one. I'll let him have it because he put Sea of Stars where it belonged. Todd, though, is striking out all over the place. Doesn't like Sea of Stars. Doesn't like the Messenger. Doesn't like fucking.
Actually, I like Messenger way better than Sea of Stars.
Oh, Messenger is like $3 on the eShop.
I bought it on Xbox.
I have the Messenger on too many. No, I just have it on Switch and Xbox. The Messenger, which is crazy to me that I never even considered to buy it back when it came out. A physical copy of the Messenger is like $300 on eBay because it was a limited print.
Holy dooly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, how have I never, like, why did I not consider buying this at the beginning? Because it was like, this game is a fucking masterpiece to me. Anyways, I'll regret not buying that fucking physical edition forever because I'm probably not dropping $300 on a fucking physical copy of that game ever. So, anyways. Prince of Persia, I mean, anyone I've talked to who's played it has said glowing things about it, so I'm excited to do it. My January sort of hinged on a few different things, one of those being what I'm going to talk about now, which is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I was excited to play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I was looking forward to this game, which just came out yesterday on the 26th. So if I didn't get a review copy of the game 2 weeks ago, I would have played maybe Prince of Persia or some stuff from 2023 that I wanted to try to bang out before this year started swinging up. But I was lucky enough to get a code for that. And I was just like some behind the scenes, inside baseball bullshit right now before I talk about the game. I was on pace to have the game finished, review, ready to go, all this stuff. And then my house flooded and some other familial emergencies popped up with Jen's health and stuff. So I've been struggling to get through the end of the game with all this other shit I have going on in my life. So bear with me on that. But with that being said, I'm in like the last hour, 2 hours of the game. I am at the very end of the game as of before hopping on tonight. So I do have like an overall opinion on the game. If my opinion changes drastically, I'll address that on a future episode of the show. But I think I can speak pretty confidently about most of my feelings on the game, spoiler free, of course. And then potentially, maybe I'll write something up as well with some final thoughts as I finish the game, probably after the show tonight. Anyways, it's really good, like really, really good. From a gameplay aspect, it is probably better than Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon in just about every way. It's much more polished. They've changed some things about the combat that I think are all for the better. It just feels much better to move around in that world, both in and out of combat. And so, like, in Yakuza 7, I'll just call Like a Dragon the last game, Yakuza 7, for the rest of this portion of the show, so I don't have to keep saying a string of words to tell you which game I'm talking about. So Yakuza 7, is the first time you're playing as Ichiban Kasuga, the new protagonist in the Yakuza Like a Dragon series. And in this game, you're continuing that story, but you're leaving Japan for portions of the game to go to Hawaii for story stuff I won't get into. I'll kind of just keep the story stuff to a minimum. And I think the story, I didn't want to give my final thoughts on the game on the show tonight simply because I think where I stand right now is probably, I would say, between an 8 out of 10 and a 9 out of 10. And I really think how the game resolves itself is going to probably ultimately put me where I am going to say 8 or 9. I think that's kind of where my final opinion or the things that I'm still considering will put themselves out. Because on the part of the reason why I really like this game is that the characters, for the most part, are all fantastic. Like, I love Ichiban. Ichiban was great in the last game, and a lot of the returning characters from the last game were great in that game, and they're great in this game. There's a lot of very, just... Ichiban is such an interesting protagonist because he is very earnest and very heartfelt, and it's... As someone who has not played all of the Yakuza games, so I can't like fully put it up against Kiryu and the other games. In this type of world where it's like dealing with a lot of heavy topics of, obviously Yakuza and other different mafias and gangs and stuff, as well as different like political issues and different like the last game dealt a lot with like the like homelessness, like in general, like it dealt with that topic a lot. This game still does deal with that, as well as a slew of other things. There's so many things that the game deals with in Infinite Wealth, and the characters are always like carrying that story, and there's so much nuance to them, and I mean, plenty of silliness, plenty of serious moments, but it all balances out, and it all works really well together in that world. So like there's a lot of different story beats that I won't go too deep into here that I think just hit really well, but there's a lot of main story, like over the top story, like the overarching story of the game is split into like, I don't know, multiple different major plot points going on at once, and I'm very curious to see how the final moments of the game here, because I know I have about an hour or 2 hours left. I'm very curious to see how the game kind of resolves some of these things and which one of these seem to matter more, because there are a lot of plot points. And I feel like the first half of the game is a little more, I don't want to say streamlined, because there's still a lot of plot stuff, different plot beats happening, but I just think there's a lot more focus on certain stuff, and then it kind of gets blown wide open and some more plot points reveal themselves. And I think the Yakuza games are very known for having a lot of twists and turns, and like characters maybe turning on you or revealing who they really are or whatever their motives are and all these things. And that stuff I think you can kind of expect, and a lot of that stuff is in Infinite Wealth, and some of it's really good. Like there's one character who I won't say much about, but Yamai, who is, for all intents and purposes, like is a villain, and I'll leave it at that. But that character is one of the new characters in this game, and I think I've probably seen all of that character story in this game. I don't know if there will be more in this last 2 hours, but I really like that character's arc in the game, and it's very enjoyable. It does a lot of interesting things. All of the new characters are pretty good. Tomizawa, who's one of the first new party members you get, has some interesting story beats. I didn't really like that character at the beginning of the game, but I grew to like him a little bit more. He's still not one of my favorites, but I did like, he had an interesting story arc. Chitose, who's another one of the new party members in this game, is also has some interesting story beats. It'll be interesting to see how Chitose's story and Tomizawa's story wrap up towards the end of this game. But it really is like, you have these major big story beats that are happening on a grander scale, on a worldwide scale, or at least a multi-nation scale, because you have the stuff happening in Japan, the stuff happening in Hawaii. So, it's all of these larger things at play. And then within that, you have this story of Ichiban and Kiryu, who I don't remember if the trailers say why Ichiban is going to Hawaii, so I I guess I just won't say why. But Ichiban is going to Hawaii for a specific reason. So he has this personal quest to be in Hawaii. Kiryu's story, I guess I can just say the main sort of plot beat around Kiryu's story because the trailers have talked about it. So Kiryu, who is the old protagonist of the Yakuza series and is still a protagonist in this game, wasn't a protagonist in Yakuza 7, but he has cancer. So that's like part of his story in this game is that. And I think a lot of the stuff, especially there's a specific chapter 8, that is much more Kiryu focused and deals with a lot of conversations around like mortality and what that means and stuff like that. And like, as somebody who has not played all of the Yakuza games, all the stuff with Kiryu still very impactful, still very emotional, and still like very, very heartfelt, and I think well done. People who have played all the games, maybe they'll feel different ways about certain things the character does. I'm not sure. But if you have played all the games, I feel like this game like definitely has a lot of stuff for people who are fans of the full series and like have a deeper attachment to Kiryu than I would. But still, it's still like, again, it's so well written and well acted, and I think just poignant for the points it's trying to make that, you know, as someone like me who's only played you know, Yakuza 7, Ishin, which is a separate thing, and Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which is a Kiryu-focused game, but it's the basically the prequel to this, is it's really good. Ichiban stuff is really good too. I think Ichiban stuff is probably overall maybe not as good as the first Ichiban game, but it's still good in a lot of ways. There's a lot of really great sub-stories. There's a lot of really great mini games and side stuff to do. And I think that's one of the big things about Yakuza games and Like a Dragon games is that for an open world game that's set in, you know, a confined space, like in Yakuza 7, you're in specific part of Japan, which I don't think any of the locations in Yakuza games are real locations. I think they're just all based on real locations. So like it's in like Kamurocho and Ijincho and Sotenbori, and I think those are all like based off of real Japanese locations, but like I think Sotenbori is based off of Dotenbori. So it's like it has a lot of similar features and stuff, but they probably do that to avoid like any potential maybe legal problems for like, you know, whatever likenesses or something like that. But these games are always jammed full of so much stuff to do, like going to the arcade and playing old Sega games, going to karaoke bar and like playing karaoke mini games, go-karts, like batting cages, mini golf. Like there's always so much shit going on there, and I think that's one of the highlights of every Yakuza game, and this is no different. Like there's just always so much stuff in there to do to like take a break from what you're doing in the game. And for the most part, if you choose to do any of those things, which they really are mostly optional, it still enriches your team, your party, your character. Like it'll up your stats, give you more money, like whatever it may be. There's always rewards of some sort tied to doing all this stuff. So even if you don't want to do it, which you don't have to, there's still like a gain from doing these things and existing in that world. And I think that's always like, you know, it's just more beneficial to like check out and play around with these things. The bigger thing in this game, as far as like the side stuff that they added, that I do plan on playing more of after I finish the game, is Dondonko Island, which is essentially like it's a sim Animal Crossing type like thing that exists within the game, which it's pretty robust. It honestly doesn't need to be there. Like it could have been probably like a separate game, maybe not a $60-$70 game, but it could have probably been its own spin-off thing or like a DLC pack or something, because there's a lot there. Like it's not like a full its own game type of thing, but there's a lot going on. And I probably would have already finished the game yesterday if I didn't spend probably like another 4 or 6 hours fucking around into Donko Island. I know Jesse Vitelli, friend of the show, also was a big fan of playing around in the Dodonko Island stuff, and it's not perfect. It's not like an Animal Crossing replacement. I don't think it's like a super polished, like perfect island sim type thing, but it has a lot of fun stuff. And again, like you spend time there and do stuff, and it does help you in the main game. So it doesn't feel like you're just wasting time or playing a pointless mini game of some sort. So yeah, I mean, I think I would probably land around an 8 or a 9, and I will probably have that full opinion after I finish the game. But it's definitely something that if you're a fan of the Yakuza series, I think you are going to really like this game. If you like Yakuza 7, I think you will probably like all of the gameplay changes and all of the things that they've added and ironed out in the combat. And, the story is going to be up to how you feel about it. I think if you're a longtime fan of the series, I think there's a lot of good Kiryu stuff there that you'll probably enjoy. Yeah. Do any of you plan on playing this? Probably not, because none of you played Like a Dragon.
I played like a good chunk of Like a Dragon, but I'm pretty sure I got something happened where I jumped off of it. But yeah, I have it downloaded on my Xbox. I plan on playing it. I think I told Brenden, this is like my year to fucking play games that I've been either put a good chunk of time into, or and that's on the list.
I definitely think that like there's something for the Yakuza series for everyone. I do think Mike would enjoy it. I think Dom would enjoy the story at least. But I think Mike would enjoy it overall because it's fucking just it's so ridiculous that they're so good at like putting so much serious, heartfelt, real things in it, and then so much over the top, silly nonsense stuff. But it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's all just like bumping against each other and not working. Like it feels like it belongs to that universe and it exists there. And don't get me wrong, some of the sub stories can be a little ridiculous and maybe whatever, and some of the other things can maybe not land the way they are intended to land. But overall, I think it really is just somehow works all well together. And the whole conceit that, so this is just me speaking to people who maybe don't know that, all of the other Yakuza games are brawler games, like action focused games. Like a Dragon, which is Yakuza 7, and yet Like a Dragon Infinite, which is this game, are both turn-based RPGs. So with that turn-based RPG added into it, they, in both games, they choose to play around with that in fun ways that I really enjoy. So like Ichiban thinks, like the way that he approaches like battle and stuff is that he thinks he's like, in the first games, like, I love Dragon Quest, like I want to be the hero of my own story, all this stuff. And in these games, he's like, when he goes into a fight, like when you go into a fight in the other Yakuza games, it's like you're just fighting the people you're fighting, like brawling in the street with like other gangsters. But this is like you run up to a group of gangsters, and then when you go into combat, for Ichiban's eyes, so you as the player, they transform into like silly enemies because that's how he sees them. And it's just like, it's stupid, but it's ridiculous. And there's a moment in this game where, because you do play as Kiryu for portions because he's a party member and other stuff happens, there's a point where it splits and Kiryu and Ichiban are not together and the party is separated. And when you play as Kiryu in those sections for the first time and you get into a combat scenario, Kiryu's like, and I'm sorry, skip ahead if you don't want to hear any of this, but I don't really think it's a spoiler personally, but if you want to save yourself, skip 30 seconds. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, oh, I see what Ichiban has been talking about now. I understand. And one of the other party members goes, wait, so now you can see what Kasuga sees? Like, what the fuck? It's like, it's just like silly, stupid shit, but it just, I don't know, it just makes sense. It's so
does
stupid.
Does he want to just go in there and just start brawling? Or is it like, kind of like,
well, yeah, that's the thing is like Kiryu's used to brawling, and then he's you're playing as him, and he's like, wait a second, what the fuck? And it's just like a stupid, funny thing. I will say though, and that's a good thing you brought that up, because I'll add to why I like this game so much. Kiryu, as a party member, is still turn-based, but he has a lot of interesting mechanics that are exclusive to him because of his history in the series. So like he has different stances you can change to that change his moves in the combat. And then later in the game, I won't, again, another mechanic spoiler that is later in the game. So if you don't want to know, skip another 30 seconds. Later in the game, you get the ability when you fill your meter up from combat to like, I forget what it's called, what the move is called, but you can like hold the right trigger and activate it. And then you just straight up go into no turn-based. Kiryu can go fuck people up and just brawl.
Oh, that's fucking
it's
awesome.
like a really cool. It's like when you first unlock it, I was like, oh, this is incredible. Like this is so good. And they do some other fun things and play with that concept at certain story moments later in the game. But it's just it's good. Like they do a lot of good stuff. I was kind of the way the game started out. I was like, oh shit, like this has potential to be like as good as the first game for me. This might be like another 10. Like this could be that. I think it really is just a little messy late with the story. There's just a lot going on. Again, it could resolve itself and maybe I change my mind. I'm like, oh shit, this is a fucking 10. I don't foresee that happening where I'm at right now, but I think 8-9 is pretty solid. So definitely I think something to keep on your radar if you want to play a new Yakuza Like a Dragon game. And if you this is a weird one. I mean, this is like not just a sequel to another game, but it's like a sequel to a game, but also like the culmination of like 9 other games. So probably not the best game to just jump into if this is your first Yakuza / Like a Dragon game. You could maybe get by if you haven't played Yakuza 7, or I guess if you haven't played any of the games, you could maybe jump into it and be okay. They do a little bit of like narrative recovery throughout the game to kind of give you like, if you don't know stuff, we'll kind of mention some stuff here, give you some like very general summarization gist stuff. But it probably not the best game to just jump into if you haven't played other Yakuza games, to be honest. I think if you've played Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, the first Ichiban game, I think you're fine, like me, to go right into it. Some people might say you'll get, more out of it, and I guess I'd say that too. You probably would get more out of it if you had played the other games and have an attachment to other characters that are, mainstays in the series. But I think you all can also enjoy it a lot without having that knowledge as well. So that's where I stand on that. Cool. I think the last thing we should do before we wrap things up is kind of go over our predictions for the year, as well as go over our predictions from last year. I went through, it did the score. The score still doesn't change the leaderboard. Dom still wins for last year. So sorry, Todd. The points don't matter. But
bullshit.
The last year's predictions, as a little, we'll go through them real quick. Mike's and all of these predictions, we'll do the same thing this year. Each of us will get 3 predictions worth 2 points, and we'll add them to the scoreboard at the end of the year. Mike's predictions last year were Apple VR headset will have some form of VR content in Apple Arcade. That's a big no. Reveal Persona 6, also a big no.
That counts since the one's coming out now. If Mike got it.
There's no Persona 6.
There's still one.
No, I'm sorry. The Apple headset, VR headset.
I mean, it didn't happen last year.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying like the one that's launching now. What if you got that right? If it launched like last year?
I don't know if it said anything about Apple Arcade. Yeah. Mike's prediction is still wrong regardless. Metroid Prime Trilogy comes out. That's also a no. So Mike went 0 for 3. Dom said Netflix gaming expands outside of mobile, which I think it did, right? It went to smart TVs.
It's on smart TVs.
Yeah, so Dom would get 2 points for that. A Nintendo crossover in Fortnite, wah, that's a big no. And a new Donkey Kong game, also a no. Todd.
I mean that Donkey Kong game.
Todd said teaser trailer minimum for GTA 6. We got more than that, so Todd gets the points there. Half-Life Alyx for PSVR 2, that's a big 0. And Xbox/Sony announces a new handheld. I still didn't go back and listen to that episode from January of last year. It doesn't matter even if we gave you the points for point reasons. But I am curious to see if we agreed, if what we agreed upon in that discussion would have counted the PlayStation Portal. Without knowing what we said back then, I would still say I don't think the PlayStation Portal is a handheld. Like it's an accessory to the PlayStation 5. Like you can't use it without a PlayStation 5. So I would say it's not a portable handheld thing. Like I would say it's not a standalone thing. I don't know, but I don't know if we may have had the conversation that like it whatever would count. Because it is essentially just putting your phone in a fucking backbone. Like that's what they came out with. I mean, there's a little more there, but
listen, I would have bought that thing. If you could use my AirPods, I would have bought that thing.
That's crazy that you can't use. It's like only Sony products.
They sold me on it, and then I found that out, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, yikes. And then my predictions, which don't really matter because I'm not really on the leaderboard or on the scoreboard, but I said a new mainline Mario game, which I would say that Wonder is, but apparently people would say. Like, it's funny because I've seen people online recently talking about we haven't had a new mainline Mario in this many years because they only consider the 3D Marios mainline Marios. That's weird. And I don't think that's how I would personally classify the Mario games. Yeah, I think that like you have like mainline 2D and mainline 3D. I think Wonder's a mainline. Yeah. I don't know. Nintendo movie. I guess the Zelda would count. I don't even know what the fuck that prediction was. And then Metroid Prime 4 game trailer. That's a big no. And then we had bonus predictions for Dom that weren't worth points. He just wanted to see if he could predict some stuff. He said Coco or Avatar in Kingdom Hearts 4. We don't know any information about that game.
Oh shit, I remember that.
And then Todd said he'll buy Moana if it's in Kingdom Hearts. He'll buy the game if Moana is in Kingdom Hearts 4. So
Coco, yeah. I think I was like on Dom's level with his guess.
And then we had house predictions, which I believe I don't know who actually wins this. So let's pull it up. So the house predictions are. Let me pull up the games first. So best reviewed game. Dom said Alan Wake 2. Mike and I both said Zelda, and Todd said Suicide Squad. So I don't know who technically has a higher Metacritic.
Probably Alan Wake. What did you and Mike say?
Zelda.
Well, Zelda
does.
Zelda has a 96.
Yeah, Zelda. It's not even,
Wake 2 is an 89. I'm surprised. That's low. I mean, that's still good, but that's kind of low for that game. Next game adaptation movie/TV. Dom said Donkey Kong. Mike said Control. Todd said Red Dead, and I said Zelda. So I get that. 2023 studio acquisition. Dom said Square. Todd said no one. Mike also said Square, and I said EA (parentheses by Disney), and all of us were wrong, thankfully. Fortnite collab. Dom gets a points for Spider-Verse. Todd also gets points for Invincible. Mike does not get points. Mike, do you remember what you said?
I didn't even remember we did this.
Mike said Fast and the Furious /Fast 10, and I also get no points because I said Final Fantasy. Instead, Apex Legends has a fucking fantasy. No. Instead, they went to Apex Legends. What are we doing?
Give me a Cloud and Sephiroth. Come on.
So
we need Toretto's car as a fucking skin.
Yeah. At this point, it makes
that now it makes more sense for like I would say probably broadly car collaboration. Like they do already have like car brands, but I mean like car centric properties like Fast and Furious. I think makes sense now because they can bundle it with like crazy bundles that come with cars and shit. All right, 2024 predictions. Who wants to go first? We'll do a little round. We'll do like we did last time. We'll just go in order so everyone can do one at a time in case people want to steal. But Mike, you were in last, so you can go first again.
Yeah. Fun fact. I think we talked about this. I mean, we must have talked about it, but I did not come prepared, so I have nothing off the top of my head. So come back to me.
All right, Mike's gonna forfeit his he's gonna pass his turn and come back. Todd, what do you got? You came in second.
I don't know. Yeah,
Are we doing this next week then? That's fine if we're doing this next week.
We might need to push this a week actually. Hold on, if Dom has something, let him go on. Let me think for a second.
I mean, it's fine if we know. We just push it to next week.
I have one.
I'm going.
Are we going? Are we doing this week?
I mean, you might be the only one. It's not going to change. So I mean, you'll have your one at least. You have to.
If we want to push it, that's fine. We push it. We'll just do it next week before the movie. We'll just do it before the movie next week.
I'm just trying to think off the top. I'm like blanking, and I know there's probably a bunch of shit off the top. Oh, Half-Life Alyx comes to fucking no, everything I said last year.
Just because I was wrong last year doesn't mean that they won't happen this year.
Yeah, so like all of my can re-guess stuff. I mean,
are we doing that this week or next week?
I mean, it's up to Todd and Mike if they're not prepared. I thought we talked about this already, but all right.
I didn't know. I must have missed this. But yeah, I feel like I could have come some. I don't want to like. Yeah, I feel like I'm very ill prepared. This is my bad.
All right, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. We'll push this. If it makes sense to do it before the movie next week, we'll do it.
Yeah.
If not, we'll do it the week after, which is not super ideal, but it is what it is. So I would just for next week come prepared, and if we do it, we do it. But that way, at least everyone's good to go. So we'll edit this out and post. No one.
The best reviewed game is going to be Suicide Squad. I'm going with everything I said last year.
Yeah.
Is that what you both want to do? You want to go with what you did last year?
No, I'm not going with what I did last year. Definitely.
You just told me what I said last year. I don't know what it was. I already forgot. Something about Fast and the Furious, I suppose.
I could see a Dom skin though with like the tank top and fucking like it just makes
honestly
sense.
A Dom skin, whatever John Cena's character's name was.
No, John Cena's in Fast. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. He's Dom's brother.
Yeah, he's a Toretto.
It's Jacob. His name is Jacob. I haven't watched that movie yet. I know his name.
Does The Rock have a skin on Fortnite yet? He does. Yeah, he had the
he doesn't have Fast and the Furious skin, but
not his own skin. But he had like the
Black Adam
season. Oh, he's Black Adam too. Okay.
Wait, Black Adam's in Fortnite? Okay, I'm picturing him in fucking multiverses.
I'm almost positive he does. I'm pretty sure he has.
I feel like you're right.
Wait, did multiverses come back yet, or is that game just?
It has not.
Yikes!
There's my prediction. There's my prediction. Multiverses comes back eventually.
That's a good prediction right there. Actually, I can't believe that game's just gone. So.
All right. Well, I guess we will move into the final portion of the episode, which is, of course, the leaderboard for 2024 and the end of show game. But before we do that, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 403 of the Pass Controller Podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, and you want to help support the show, best ways to do that and easiest way to do that is to follow us on social media at Pass Controller, subscribe to the show wherever you listen to it if you don't already subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. It's super beneficial to helping us grow the show. So if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, if there's an ability to leave a review, leaving us a 5-star review is super, super helpful. We'd appreciate it. As a reminder, if you listen to the show on audio platforms, we do stream it live every week on twitch.tv/passcontroller. So if you want to watch the show live, you can watch us record it every week when we do. If you can't catch it live, no problem, but you still want to watch it, the video version of the show, it is over on our YouTube channel. If you just search Pass the Controller Podcast, it'll be there for you. Other than that, if you have some bucks kicking around, you want to help support the show, you can go to passthecontroller.threadless.com and grab some swag. Go to patreon.com/passthecontroller and become a patron. Or you can subscribe to us on Twitch at twitch.tv/passthecontroller. Is that right?
Pass Controller?
Is Twitch Pass Controller? Yeah. Why am I losing my mind?
You could just
another concussion.
It is Pass Controller. I actually did get a light concussion last week, so my life's a fucking mess. My life is in fucking shambles. That's why. I think January is just historically maybe the worst month of my life every year. I think that's just how it goes. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. We'll roll right into it. The leaderboard for the year so far stands Dom in first with 3, Mike in second with 2, Todd in third with 1 point, and on the guest leaderboard, Cam is leading the league as the only guest with 2 points.
Also, Cam scooped up some points last week. Good job, Cam.
Yeah, Cam held you up.
Oh, I just want to say something, and I don't want to go dive too deep into this, but I fucking listened to the beginning of it, and like I just don't understand the NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys because like Backstreet Boys just fucking dominated, and NSYNC came in like they came in at the tail end of fucking the peak of when Backstreet Boys was fucking dominating forever.
I was an adult at that point, so
yeah, I was gonna say
I would know.
I was like 18, 19. And fucking Backstreet Boys they paved the way for NSYNC. Tell fucking Cam I said that. I hope Cam's listening right now. Plus, Justin Timberlake's a douchebag, so NSYNC.
Well, we know where Todd falls on that debate. Did you pick up Britney's memoir?
Right.
What was the Justin Timberlake movie where time was the currency?
In Time?
Oh, well,
In Time, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great movie. Someone
Oh,
should pick
yeah.
that.
I think it actually was a good movie.
Oh,
I
I don't know.
haven't
Yeah, I
have no
mean, it was very heavy-handed on.
I've always had a hard
heavy-handed on
time
its
taking him serious in any
message.
movie.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hop right into it with game number 1. You need the full title of this game. Doomsday. Complete Hell on Earth. The hunters become the hunted. Kill
Doom
the...
Eternal?
It is Doom Eternal. Todd gets the point. So the way I'm trying to do this game... Oh, I didn't even explain the fucking game. I'm sorry for new
I
listeners.
didn't know what you were doing
Yeah,
either.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I wasn't even listening. I heard the word Doom a couple of times and kind of checked out.
We're playing a game called Answer Unlocked, which the way this works is I read the achievement / trophies description and title, omitting specific proper nouns if they need to be omitted on the first run. Whoever gets the game first gets the point. Todd just got the first game, gets the first point. We're moving on to game number 2. I've been trying to put these in order of what I deem for the group is in level of difficulty, going from easier to harder. So I've been trying to do it that way this year. So we'll see if I keep doing that right. Game number 2. Pacifist. Reach the Smasher without killing enemies. Smashing. Defeat Smasher without destroying the wall turrets. Fight with honor. Defeat the apparator without hitting him in the back. I should have just omitted that word.
I don't think this is right. I'm going to say Cyberpunk 2077 because Adam Smasher, but I know that's not right.
Incorrect. Long distance. Defeat Laser Brain without hitting it with your sword. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Complete Chapter 2 elevator without killing rust flies. I'm just fucking letting all the words out. Not a scratch. Defeat Scrambler without taking damage. Focused effort. Defeat Hunter Tank without destroying the pop-up turrets. Boring. Destroy 5 Hunter Boars. Blades Plenty. Defeat Biohunter with sword only. Live forever. Reach the dojo without dying. Dry Socks. Defeat Mecha Dragon without falling into water.
No fucking clue.
Floor.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Incorrect. Floor.
Oh, it's a good guess.
Yeah, I was gonna guess. Floor is lava. Defeat 6 AI vessel defense system turrets without touching floor.
That sounds familiar.
Ping pong. Defeat subject Alpha V1 by parrying only. Show off. Defeat subject Alpha V2 with 0 SP at the start of battle.
It's one of those games. Yeah.
Fast track. Defeat tunnel cleaner in under 60 seconds. Don't touch the paint. Complete the bike ride without taking damage. Maybe this is Devil Horns.
I might be. It sounds like it.
Attacking aggressively. Defeat the dropship in under 30 seconds.
30-second fucking... All these like quick fucking things. I don't know.
This is my boat. Complete the boat ride without team bots touching the deck. That was hard. I couldn't get that achievement. That was hard.
So you've played it, right?
Complete.
None of
I'm
these
sorry.
bring around.
Pogo Master.
Floor is lava is one. Or is Pogo Master?
Pogo Master. Wait, what did you say? Did you guess
I said
something?
the floor. No, the
Oh,
floor is lava
Floor is
one.
Lava.
It's the only thing that rang a bell.
I feel like a lot of games have used that as an achievement.
Yeah,
for-
probably. Yeah.
Pogo Master. Lightning strike the combinatron head 10 times without landing. Eye for an eye. Defeat each of the small eyes before defeating Spider Rail. Lonely Robot. Find the lone robot in the train tunnel.
The Mega Man 11?
Incorrect. Tools of the trade. Find 4 different special items. Gadget Master. Find
Is
8
it right?
Stray.
Yeah. I don't
Incorrect. Gadget Master. Find 8 different special items. Airtime. Stay airborne for 30 seconds. Know you. Parry 50 times.
It's a good achievement right there.
Yeah. Super Ninja. Shadow dash through 10 enemies without touching ground.
Is the messenger?
Incorrect.
I was going to say that too. Oh god, I know the name of this game possibly, and I can't fucking think of the name of the game.
Saving the Clan. Get Shuriken.
Is it Cyber Shadow?
It is indeed Cyber Shadow.
Oh, okay. That's not what. What's the indie game that's the one where you can like deflect bullets and everything, and
Katana Zero.
that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, good. What is Cyber Shadow?
It's
That's the one where you-
it's not made by Yacht Club, but it's published by them. It's like a side-scrolling ninja game.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know that one.
Game number 3. For the Family. Completed chapter 1.
Fast and the Furious.
I was just gonna say that
I was
too.
expecting someone to say it.
Yeah, I was because there's a game, isn't it?
Jade said
Overcharged, I think it's called.
Jade said, "Good fucking thing you didn't omit anything. We'd be here all damn night." It's true. That one would have been tough.
Yeah, for real.
Rock Bottom. Completed chapter 2. I'm gonna skip through the chapter.
Wait a second. The first one's called For the Family, and the second one's
Yeah,
called Rock Bottom, and it's not Fast and the Furious. Hobbs and Shaw.
You do need to give me the full title of this game. That does.
That's why you got it wrong.
Fast and the Furious. Okay. Can't do those either. We'll skip those.
Fast and
for
Furious
now.
Tokyo Drift. Sorry.
Not here, gonna know.
Friends in Low Places. Maxed blanks bond level. Friends on the Force. Maxed blanks bond level. Friends Like Sisters. Maxed blanks bond level. Friends with Familiar Faces. Maxed blanks bond level. Friends in the Gang. Maxed blanks bond level. Friends from Work. Maxed blanks bond level. Food for Thought. Viewed more than 20 table talk scenes. A New Legend. Raised
Coffee Talk?
Incorrect. Raised part-time hero member rank to senior hero. A New Hero. Raised part-time hero member rank to executive hero. Awakening blank. Reached level 10 with blank. Rising blank. Reached level 30 with blank.
What's Yakuza Like a Dragon?
It is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, is it really? Get the
I would have accepted Yakuza 7 as well, but it is indeed Yakuza Like a Dragon.
What was
Yeah,
the other game?
it is funny that it's
Shadow?
those first 2 achievements were For the Family and Rock Bottom.
Right.
Another one of
Oh,
those
that
chapter
game, okay.
another one of those chapter ones is Ignition. That's just a lot of funny like potential car. I know the Rock Bottom was a car thing, but anyways, yeah, all right. That'll end the week with Dom still in first with 4, Todd scooping up second place with 3, Mike sitting in third place with 2, and that'll do it for this week's episode, episode 403 of the Pass Control Podcast. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.